Hey there athletes, hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to be running the second video of a series about what it takes to become a quarterfinals athlete. We're going to be breaking down the workout 21.2, an open workout, to see what insight this can give us. If you haven't done so already, check out the first video in this series where I dive into workout 21.1. Alrighty, let's dig in.
Not you, not her.
Just a heads up guys, I do a little bit of maths in this video. If that's not your thing, I'm going to leave timestamps in the description where you can just jump straight ahead and find what I consider to be a benchmark standard for a quarterfinals athlete, given what we learn from 21.2. Now with that said, 21.2, where do we start? Well, a quick recap on what it took to become a quarterfinals athlete. I'm part of the Oceania region. So if you're a man in this region, last year's Open, you were required to make the top 997th position, whilst for women, you were required to make the top 898th. But I get it. Just having these numbers doesn't really give clarity. I want to try and delve into what makes an athlete reach these ranks. What kind of benchmark levels of athleticism do they need to get to this position? My personal opinion is looking into the Open and last year's effort is probably the best way we can find out what it requires. If you have made the top 10% in the past and you're watching this video now, please let me know. I'd love to get in contact with you and discuss just what it takes. Or if you've got a channel, I'd love to check out some of your WODs. So please, comment in the description so I can check that out. So, 21.2. 21.2 saw a combination of dumbbell snatches and burpee box jump overs. A combination of bodyweight movements paired with weighted movements. It's something often that shows up in CrossFit. Generally, our bodyweight movements will favour the smaller, lighter athletes, whilst weighted movements tend to favour larger, heavier athletes. Data would never show these nuances. So, for the purpose of this video, let's consider these advantages and disadvantages even out. So what exactly can 21.2 show us? Well, for a start, our avatars are decent at the following. They're good at box jumps, burpees, and they have a repeated snatch ability. Now I know this doesn't match exactly the snatch, but it's a posterior chain movement and there's some transfer in there. They're so decent, in fact, they finished well under the time cap. Our average male quarterfinalist took 14 minutes 30 seconds, whilst the average female quarterfinalist took only 16 minutes. Now, it's logical, a burpee box jump over doesn't take as long as a dumbbell snatch. So to figure out a ratio, let's bring in Noah Olson. I reviewed Noah's attempt at 21.2 for the sole purpose of developing a ratio on how long it takes to do the burpee box jump over in comparison to the dumbbell snatch. This is what I learned. It takes Noah a blistering 17 seconds to pump out 10 dumbbell snatches, whilst only 31 seconds to complete 10 burpee box jump overs. A ratio of 17 to 31. Now I realise, Noah is not your 10th percentile athlete. He's more like the 0.0001 percentile. But I'm going to go out and say, I feel like the same ratio would hold similar for a 10th percentile avatar. That is, it takes twice as long to do a burpee box jump over as it does a dumbbell snatch. So given you can do 2 burpees per snatch, I assign points for the following movements. 1 point for a snatch, 2 points for a burpee box jump over. Given this means for men, a snatch was completed about every 2.9 seconds and a burpee box jump over every 5.8 seconds. And for females, a snatch every 3.2 seconds and about 6.4 seconds per burpee box jump over, all in a workout that lasted around that 15-minute mark. It is these assumptions I've used to develop the benchmark standards for a 10th percentile. The time cap was 20 minutes, so I'm going to make the first benchmark a 20-minute EMOM. As men completed burpees at an average pace of 5.8 seconds, then over the course of the workout, they will have completed an average of 10.34 burpees each minute. I would argue a benchmark standard would be around 10 burpee minute rate for a 20-minute EMOM. This is obviously a slightly slower pace than is required for that workout, but it's run over an extra 5 minutes, as our male avatar will have finished 21.2 in under 15 minutes. So what about women? Women were slightly slower, only requiring an average pace of 9.375 burpees per minute. Thus, a good goal for women would be 9 burpees over box per minute for the 20-minute duration. As for the snatch, for men, a pace of 20.68 snatches were completed each minute for the duration, and for women, 18.75 snatches per minute. Now, it's clearly not a good idea to do 20-minute EMOM of snatches, unless you want a wrecked back. I'm going to make the EMOM a pace which is slightly greater than this, however, shorter in duration. So for men, an 8-minute EMOM at 22 snatches per minute would be a good benchmark, and for women, an 8-minute EMOM at 20 snatches per minute would be satisfactory. So in summary, 21.2 shows us our avatars can do each of the following. Men, a 20-minute EMOM at 10 burpee box jump overs per minute, and for women, 9 burpee box jump overs per minute. And as for snatches, over an 8-minute EMOM, 22 snatches per minute for men, and 20 snatches per minute for women. Perhaps I brought up a few questions with this video. If I have in any way, please let me know in the comment section. There is no exact science when figuring out exactly what it is you need to do. And on the day, there's going to be lots of factors that show up. Different workouts, who knows? Let me know if you've got a different opinion on these benchmarks. I'd love to hear from you. But until next time, take care.